projects. I worked on the fourth suite
Okay.
last year, so I thought I might as well go in sequential order. But yeah, I think it's definitely a very complex piece of music. It's very long, so it's definitely trained my
Yes.
not only stamina, but just ability to relax while I'm playing. So I don't really need as much stamina or like strength to get through it. To kind of like change some of my performing techniques, so I can.
Yeah. How many times have you performed it so far?
This is my first.
Okay. Debut. Love. Okay. Man. Okay. So the fourth Prelude. Talk to me about what that was like for you to play.
Yeah, I
found that one exhausting.
That was exhausting, but you know, I think that one, the rhythm is very monotonous, so it's very easy to fall into like a pattern of like how you play it. But I think with any suite, you know, in any of Bach's suites, I really have to spend a lot of time studying kind of like the musical analysis like side of the suite, so I don't, you know, so I can tell a story for the audience. So yeah, for that fourth suite, that was definitely important because of the kind of nature of the Prelude. But this one's also a lot. It's got a lot, and it's got a lot of different moods, and so yeah, that's why I just try to like really pinpoint like what I want to express to the audience while I'm playing.
Well, we're looking forward to hearing it.
Mainly this one. But
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, is that something you've been working on? Okay, in what way?
Well, like this has really like taught me to work on it a lot more. Because usually I can kind of just tense and then stop the piece, but this is you just don't stop. But yeah, I mean it's definitely something. I think pressing, squeezing is definitely an issue for me. You don't really need to squeeze. I mean, I feel like with a lot of things we want to like work hard to like build strength, but like for music we're not really, strength training. We're trying to make it easier for ourselves. So that's definitely something I
Do you
do.
lift? Do you like work out a lot easier, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, no, those are all connected. And so I feel like strength for us, you forget that we're athletes too. Did y'all know that? Okay. So mentally though, if anything, with this piece, it just goes on and on and on. It could. That's not gonna be you though.
Yeah.
Not here. Yeah. So I'm wondering, like, it was very beautiful what you were doing. I'm not sure that that's what Cael wants. I wonder if that was a safety thing for you. Like, I must not press. Da 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 da. Must stay cool. I don't know. Yeah, talk to me about like your vision. I talked to Julian about this a little bit. Your vision for this piece. I know it's only been a month, but
yeah. I think telling a story, making sure the audience doesn't get bored or anything. So just always and giving all I can to satisfy Bach's request because he's tells a story with his notes. There's always something he wants to say, so not like missing that or blowing over it.
For sure. Do y'all like feel that responsibility though? Like, okay, what are you guys playing orchestra right now? What's the repertoire?
It's a Rossini ballet, La Boutique Fantasque.
Oh wow, okay. We like it? Love it? Yeah. What have been sort of the things you guys have been working on as an ensemble? Carson's laughing.
Intonation,
Oh.
rhythm,
Yeah,
ensemble,
yeah.
blending,
Okay.
tone quality.
Yeah, is that fun to like work on?
Not for an extended period of time.
Yeah. But like the thing is we don't have to segregate these things. Like things are more beautiful when they're in tune, I guess, but that's also subjective, is it not? I was gonna make a viola joke, but I won't. I mean I pretty much did just now. Anyway, so Cael, like you play very, very well. I do hear what you're saying and I sympathize with this just being really a long focus to get through. I'm wondering if you can kind of think you're being a little polite. Yeah, so even the opening, right? What are you hearing when you hear this opening?
It's almost like an improvisation.
Ah,
which
okay, so it's not planned, right?
It's not planned, yeah.
So even this first chord, it was great. I was like so excited to rock out. You were like, and then yeah, you know what? You just like just let it sit and get in tune. Oh yeah. That's fine. What just happened, by the way, because we have different ideas, right? That's what I want. Okay, so don't even worry about the chords right now. I think those also get in the way because we meek string players have only 4 strings, and yet, do you know what Bach's main instrument was?
Something that didn't have 4 strings.
Oh yeah, like he played with his feet, hint hint, played multiple, yeah, played an organist. That was his main gig. Yeah, so you have, I really just imagine like Phantom of the Opera, like the sound has to sound. That's not polite.
Yeah.
This maybe. You don't have to put that straight. Only if you want. This is distorting. Yeah, of course. Classic things. You gotta play fixed in tune. Lovely instrument here. I'm afraid you heard it. So like, but you know what I mean? Like, it's a love-hate relationship we sometimes have with these guys here. But they're here for the ride and the journey. So take us. Okay, try it. Omit the chords if you could, just so you can hear the main line what you want to do timing wise. Yeah. No, that's much, much better. It already speaks you're very, very musical inherently. So I hear all of the beauty in what you're doing. It's still there, but there's a little bit more continuity. And probably easier on you physically. Do you feel a little
Yeah,
better?
yeah, just
Yeah.
letting it up and
For sure. Okay, so I kind of wanted to throw our attention a little, just nerdy cello technique stuff. Who has trouble with their thumb, just in general? Squeezing their thumb. Cellists. Talk to us about your journey.
Well, I guess I've always been struggling with that.
Okay.
I mean, it was kind of the way that we were taught in school,
Yeah.
at least. It was just like always make the C shape.
Okay.
And I think that kind of led me down a path of always relying on the pressure from my thumb to play every single note. And it was a journey trying to
Yeah.
do
So
that.
the left hand. The left hand specifically?
Left hand thumb.
Okay. Do you feel it also your left hand?
Um,
Which is interesting, guys. Which hand actually makes sound?
Right.
And yet, here we are, like focusing on this one, right? A lot of the issue is actually this hand. I've started to really notice with my students that we just really grip here, right? And so they work hand in hand. So I would just keep that in mind, like, man, like how am I actually holding my thumb in place? And am I putting too much sort of pressure on it? Because, okay, we can learn a lot from violinists. Like, Charles, tell us, how did you learn how to hold a bow? You may come over here and demonstrate if you'd like, if you would be able to.
Okay.
Yeah. I've never played violin before, pretend.
Well, like how I first learned,
Yes.
this actually wouldn't be the way I would teach it now, but how I first learned was to make call it a wolf, like with ears, nose and mouth,
Okay.
and just to kind of rest the middle parts over and then drop
And then drop.
yeah, kind of, I guess to create an axis,
Yeah.
of motion.
Okay. And do you find as a violinist that there is a focal point on the thumb? Or does, because
Definitely.
you guys really do involve your elbows much more. It is much more visceral when I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say there's still definitely a focal point at the thumb where it's closer to the frog. We have to push over pinkies and lift up the bow a little bit. and
Because you're
further.
literally moving it this way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So kind of back and forth.
Yeah. Leo, what do you think? Do you relate to that in terms of like how violinists move their bow as a cellist? How that changes for you?
I think it's like kind of different, like
Okay.
kind of the opposite.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, like I feel like it's easier for them to come from the top because they're like this
Uh-huh.
versus
Up
I don't
and
know,
down
like,
makes more sense.
Yeah, like I don't know, like it feels like cello, like your left hand, your right hand kind of go the opposite way. I don't know if that.
Yeah. So there's kind of a dichotomy there with how we actually physically move. And when we play something like this, it's just like, man, I really need to physically be able to use my arm in a different way. Okay, so I think as cellists we can learn so much from a violinist. This way, all we're doing is pivoting our wrists a little bit. But the elbow, this is the thing that I really feel like I didn't think about enough when I was in school. If I just elevate my elbow just a little bit, there's less pressure on my thumb. And I think this is the culprit with this thumb. Yeah. So, Cael, do you like scales?
Mhm.
Okay. It's okay to lie. I think that.
I like them.
You like them, okay.
Yeah.
Can you do, I'm gonna literally be annoying and put this on for a second. I just wanna see how this feels. Julian knows this. I'd like you to do some open strings for me. And I want you to think about your elbow just staying a little bit more elevated than you're used to. Maybe start from the G string. Yeah. So maybe let's do like 6
minutes, and
Oh gosh, really?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
well, I mean, we would incorporate that type of practice with scales too, and even
Yeah.
arpeggios. So I think there's a way of doing it even without just like one string.
Yeah. You guys should just have like just an agreement to just check up on each other. Like, hey, are we doing some of that? Like, it really is important. Especially when you come into like recital season or orchestra playing. That's just